Let's get started. Okay.
Okay, okay.
So today I have Mike Green. He's a old friend from school.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
join us today and we're gonna do some fun sex ed talk and maybe we'll get some good information along with, of course, lots of opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So Mike, you wanna introduce yourself, say what you do
Sure.
with your kids and
Yeah.
stuff?
My name Mike Green. I'm from Chesapeake. I'm a juvenile detention officer as well as a coach. I do a lot of mentoring with youth and everything like that, and I also coach semi-professional basketball as well. I'm a lead recruiter for a team in the area.
Okay. So we're gonna start off with fast five. So it's just 5 questions. You just shoot with your answer. So favorite position with
Doggy
sex.
style, easily.
Okay. Sex without head or head without sex.
Head without sex.
Really?
I mean, honestly, it feels
Oh my
better. I'm not
God,
gonna.
we gotta pause on that. Why?
I mean, I just can't see myself like it. Like once you get used to, getting head all the time, like you just don't want to not do it. You know what I'm saying? It really feels better. In certain situations, everybody's case is different, but you know what I'm saying? Some people's head is not as good as their sex, and some people's sex not as good as their head. It's just kind of it. Just
But
kind
that
of is
says
what
a
it.
lot. That says a lot about head. If you like, I'd rather like never have sex again to get head.
I mean, honestly speaking, it prevents pregnancy. It prevent get. It prevent pregnancy. So I mean, it
Definitely
has
true.
its. You
That's
know what I'm
true.
saying?
Oh my gosh. Okay, let me get back into it because that threw me way off. I was not ready for that. But okay, so foreplay with hands or mouth,
Mouth.
monogamy or polygamy.
Polygamy.
Oh God, Mike, Lord have mercy.
I'm getting you. You said fast and quick, and
Yes,
that's what I'm just.
yes. Okay. So okay, this ain't no fast five because now I got more questions. Okay.
I'm here for it.
So polygamy, all right. Would it be like two females or would you like just like have a variety?
For me personally,
Yeah.
I would rather it be two females and myself, and it's not just for sexual. It's for just the camaraderie of it, like the togetherness, the family element that it brings y'all two closer together. And like I was explaining to somebody else, you can always have that deeper feeling for two different females, and you would want to protect those two females. So you don't look at them as just your mate. You look at them as life partners. You know what I mean? And sometimes in certain situations, it's just not enough with one. Sometimes
Wow.
maybe both parties, not just maybe the man and the woman might want another woman, just because and that
Okay.
woman might need a man and a woman.
Okay. I see that. That's a new way to look at it. I never really looked at it from that. Like I know people say like it's like more of a like a community type thing where like, everybody got everybody back, they communicate and all this stuff. But in my mind, I'm just like, it's never like a you love one more than the other, even if you with like more than one person. I feel like one person would be like, at a tier above like the other either way.
I think it's perception though. If you really think about it, if I'm treating you the same, if we both in the house and I'm treating you the same way I'm treating the next female, what really places you or her above one or the other? Or if I can't sit here and say, oh, this girl treats me better than this girl when this girl doing the same thing that this girl is doing. And if the loyalty is the same, if the happiness is the same, if the sex is being equally distributed, if the money is being constantly going in the circle or the triangle that it's in, what's really different about it opposed to it just not being like monogamous?
Hmm.
I mean, that's just my.
Hmm.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but this is the way I
I don't
kind of
think
see it.
it's wrong. That's just like a different way to look at stuff. Because I would just like, because it's like nobody. I don't think no two people like the same thing, or no two people like to be treated the same way. And I just feel like expectations for the two would be different. Like you would have to give something to the other one that you wouldn't give to the other one because, you know, they both might not like the same things or the same way. What is it? What's that thing? The little 5 ways of giving somebody love or something. Like some people like
The
gifts,
languages,
people
the
like,
5 languages.
yeah, there you go. Like somebody might prefer, you know, gifts while the other one might prefer, you know, like touch or something. So it's like even with it being, you know, you distributing the attention and whatnot, the same like the interaction I feel like will be different. But what we say, different strokes for different folks. So that's a good
That's my
perspective.
that's my saying. Definitely.
Okay. And we had one more. Um Current relationship status. You can plead the fifth on this one if you want to, because I know, you know, some people be maneuvering around a little different. So
Nah. I'm currently in a relationship. I am.
okay.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
am. I
All
mean,
right.
now, granted, like I keep that side of my thought to myself because I know that that's not how she feel about it. So I really gotta respect the way that she feels. Now, granted, you know, it doesn't take away my viewpoint. It's just I'm not able to do it because that's not what she's in agreement with. You know, you
Oh
gotta respect
wow.
your partner.
Okay.
You always gotta respect your partner, man. You know, I
You
learned
do.
that. I had to learn that over time. You know, so like in order to be understood, you gotta understand. So you just,
All
I
right.
just, it,
Sprinkling a little wisdom in order to be you gotta understand, honey. I like that. Okay, so we can move on to like the actual questions. So they kind of general, like if you pop out with stuff like you've been doing, we might go left, but either way. So, what relationship advice would you give to your younger self?
really. I mean, honestly speaking, I would say be conservative, and you know, and honestly, as far as the relationship go, you know, learn to date smarter and not,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying, not just date just because. Like I did, like my early years, I was doing a lot of dating, like my 1920s, 21, 22. I was just going out with people just because the people
Hmm.
around me was dating people. You know what I'm saying? So I would say be more conservative and honestly be less I would say be less informational. And what I mean by that is don't give a person so much access to what you're doing as a whole. You know what I'm saying? So that's something
I
I
agree.
learned. You know, so like you know, I was being in the military. A lot of girls looked at me and was like, "Oh, well, he did this, or he do this, or he do that." And a lot of the females that I had dealt with when I was in Kansas, like literally was just we was dealing with each other because I stayed on base and they knew that they can get on base with me and go watch me do whatever I was doing. And it was more so like it was an incentive for them more so than it was a good like the relationship factor. So
I
I
get
would
you.
say just be more conservative and be less informational. I mean, as far as like going on dates and stuff, I would be less expensive, you know, than what I was being when I was taking people on. When I was taking people on dates, I would be less expensive because
Okay.
it means sometimes it can mean something to somebody, and sometimes it cannot mean something to somebody. So I would just, you know, kind of let people earn that, you know, make them earn it. Like y'all, that's how y'all say. Y'all make
Right. Right.
it.
That goes for both of us, men and women. Like, make them earn some stuff. Like, I
Yeah,
agree because it doesn't have to be dates. I mean, a nice date is a nice date, but you don't have to like go to like the most expensive restaurant like to go on a date and have a good time with somebody. Like, it don't have to
yeah.
take all of that. You got to see if you vibe with the people. You know, you can just have a good time. I've had good times like sitting in the car like
There
just
you go.
talking, listening to music and stuff. So like it doesn't have to be that. Like, you know, you gotta see where
Yeah.
stuff goes sometimes. You can't give everybody everything.
No, and you know what? And that was my problem. I was giving everything, literally. Uh,
Okay. So next one. All right. Are you down with like a on-site situation, like you out somewhere, like you see somebody like, oh, I gotta have her now. Like, don't know her, ain't never met her name or nothing. And you like, oh, she got to come back. Like, are you down with stuff like that or no?
I mean, I was. I gotta say was because I gotta use my words carefully
Look,
because I'm
we'll keep you
manipulating.
safe
But
outside of
yeah,
the
yeah.
relationship.
Outside of the relationship, when I've done that before and I did
Mhm.
it, and it ended quickly though. Like that's why I was like, yo, I'm talking about like it'll be that day, and then I probably would never see that person again or not talk to them.
But yeah, that's what I mean. Like, but okay, in your experience in that, was the actual, I guess, sexual experience, like, was it good? Was it like, no, this ain't it? Like,
I'm. I mean, it won't. It won't. Like if it was good, I would have probably pursued. You know, it probably won't
oh,
just
okay,
not what I wanted. I mean, you know,
okay.
most guys and this free game for the ladies. I shouldn't be doing this, and I'm gonna get a lot of
Come
heat.
on, come on.
If a man hits you on the first night and he don't call back or he don't pursue you or he don't offer anything, 9 times out of 10 he either was one just wanting to see what was up, heard something about you, or just seen you and was just like, okay, I'm gonna shoot my shot. And most people when they shoot their shot, they score. They really not concerned about the next. If the basket gotta come back from what y'all doing, no, he trying
Mhm.
to go on to the next thing.
Okay,
9 times out of 10.
okay,
You know, I'm just being real.
okay. So piggybacking off of that, okay, so since you was like, nah, like it won't all of that, do you feel like sex is better once you kind of get to know people more so than just meeting somebody and like let's see what this is about, but you don't really know them? Do you feel like it gets better like the more you know about somebody?
It can be because you know you're now you intellectually y'all intertwining. So I think the build up towards that is what makes it good. Like now, generally speaking, the actual physical feeling of sex between somebody can be different from somebody else's, regardless of whether you know them or not, based on what your body is reacting to. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Like every I mean, let's be real. Every dude dick don't feel the same to female.
Woo, you're right.
Hello, and just like,
You're right.
and it's just like every girl coochie don't feel good to every man that they give it to. You know, it
Okay,
just
well we can just get right into it then, because you skipping down the lane I'm trying to get to. Okay, so with that, like, what do you consider like bad sex? Like, is it more so like the feeling? I'm gonna say this
it,
only because I've asked people before, and it's always like I've never heard a dude be like, "That's a lie." I have heard dudes say like they had like somebody that was like loose every now and again, but outside of that, when I ask dudes, they usually be like, "It's not the feeling because like." I mean, as long as coochie get like wet to an extent and it grip you, like it's good. But it's like it could be the actual like experience with the girl. Like if she can't take dick, or if she don't get in the positions that you want, or if her like moans are like not appealing to what you want to hear. Like, what for you do you consider like what makes sex bad, or what can make sex bad?
man, oh my god. I hope I don't break no feelings. I hope I don't hurt nobody's feelings today, man. I really don't.
Well, you ain't
But
calling no name.
but I'm gonna kick the real to you. You
Oh
know what I'm
God.
saying? Every man has had bad sex, and you're not gonna tell me they haven't. So there's like at least six. I'm gonna give you six off of just my experiences alone.
Okay.
To me, is basically 6 days can make sex bad in a situation. Number one, the room temperature is everything. That's number one. But as far as the smell, the scent of a woman, not just their vaginal parts, but like
Just in
their
general.
actual body. Like
Mm-hmm.
some people just have naturally foul body odor. Like they even one living. Shanita, stop. I mean, Sharita, stop, man. Like, I'm just saying, some people have natural bad body odor. And like, in the midst of sweating and all of that you doing and moving around, it's going to eventually hit one of them
Oh
senses.
my gosh.
Get one of them.
I've never thought about that.
You know, like eventually it'll hit that sense, and if it don't smell good to a man, we're gonna stop. I don't know no man that pump through a bad smell. I can't do it. I just cannot.
Oh my
I
God.
can't do it. Positioning, like you said a few minutes ago, like not knowing how to take it. You know what I'm saying? Like your positioning can be so bad to me that I just can't get it the way that I want it, or it's not taking the way that I want it to take, and it'll throw my vibe off. You know what I'm saying? Or another thing is just I'm gonna be real
Oh
honest with you.
God.
No, you could, when a girl is loose, like what we notice about it is by position now. When we're trying to hit a specific spot, when you're really trying to hit a specific spot, you can feel that spot go in and out and in and out. And it's like, man, well, I'm trying to stay right here, but I gotta inch over to the right or I gotta inch over to the left
Really?
because it just keeps spreading and spreading as you pound it. So you know it's loose. So yeah, it's gonna be like, I can't even really get into rhythm like I want to. So your rhythm, the atmosphere that's being created, I would say like the odor, like the body odor of the woman. Like you're initially not like once it start up, you like, nah, I can't do this. I'm guilty of it. Like I've actually stopped in the middle of sex, like, yo, I'm
Oh,
just not.
poor little
I'm not
teeny.
feeling it. Nah, I'm not feeling it. I even made an excuse like I need to go get me like something from the store. I went and got some
Bye.
pep. I think I went and got some pep. No,
Oh my God. How is no way to
I,
fix it? Just got up and left. Ain't no way to fix that.
no, it ain't. But see, I was like, yo, I said what I said. I was like, I gotta go to the store. Like I wasn't feeling because that week before I wasn't feeling good, and that person knew it. And so I was like, yeah. When I got there and she laid down, and when we started, it immediately smelled it. And
Oh
I was
my
like, yo, my
God.
stomach's starting to hurt again. I was like, can you run with me to the store to get some Pepto Bismol? She ran with, we put our clothes back on. I mean, back in my mind, I'm like, yo, I'm about to drop her
Oh
right back
my
off.
God.
That's exactly what I did. I was like, man, nah, this not gonna happen. And I never spoke about it to anybody. Like I never tell the person's name, but like some people, it's reasons why guys won't or can tell you sex is bad. Like, but the positioning or moving and not staying like that's why guys, if you notice, like and I'm just asking if I'm not sure about if you've ever noticed it before, but when most guys grip like a woman from the back, they push down on like the middle of the back side of their back because they're trying to keep you in that specific place. But when you get the inching and moving around, it's like, damn, now I gotta move to this position again. And I was like, because it take a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, while we're where we're at, it take a lot of work. But
Okay. So about that, because I always see people posting about that and like the specific of the, arch, like you gotta be basically stomach touching your daggone thighs. Okay. What is like, I mean, does it feel different versus like somebody that's like probably like at a incline like this versus like, okay, this. So this is like how y'all want it. So imagine like if somebody like curved a little bit so where they're not like as close to their thighs, like does it feel different for you guys or is it just like that specific position?
it does. And I'm gonna say this is my catchphrase is different
Mm-hmm.
strokes, different
Mm-hmm.
folks. Everybody ain't. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't out there. Some people got to bring it in a little bit. So for some people, like for me, I can only speak for myself. Like for me, I would rather you poke like your butt out towards me a lot more while arching. So that means you ain't necessarily got to go too far down. Even if you do, I'm good regardless. But I'd rather it because one, I'm getting a better angle at where I'm trying to get to because that's my starting point for sex. And then from that point, I'll work it into wherever we can work it into. And if you decide that you get uncomfortable once I find where I'm at, then at that point, it's either here or you there. You know what I'm saying? It's one or the other, but we don't want you to be here though. You know what I'm saying? That's not what we want.
Okay. So it can be anywhere down, just not here.
You can't be straight across. You got to be like
Okay.
somewhere
Okay.
the arch got to be there.
like I need to know like specifically like what is the big deal? Because I feel like if you in there, like fine, but I get like that. I feel like this being straight is uncomfortable. It should be uncomfortable for the female too, in my mind. But I don't know. As we said, different straights for different folks. But like the people that be wanting you like literally like this, I'm like, all right, like some of us got gut, you know, yeah, like everybody not
Yeah.
as flexible in those
You
areas.
gotta see. You gotta use what's in the bed, man. Pillow, cover. Put that up under you. You know what I'm saying? You gotta improvise. See, the thing is when see you. One thing about men, like we will adapt to it, and
Mhm.
that's just the nature. That's the nature of any species. Like you notice, horses are the same way. You know what I'm saying? They gotta adjust. Like if they ain't where they supposed to be at, they get up on it. They ain't. If they are, they stay where they at. Same thing
Animals
with
do a
dogs.
lot.
Dogs are the same way. You know what
Animals
I'm
do a
saying?
lot.
Yeah, they do. Animals do a lot, but in any species, like the male is automatically supposed to adjust to
Mhm.
where the woman is going. So yeah, it shouldn't have to be that way. But I guess the viewpoint is what kind of turn guys on too. So that's one thing I like to see. I like to see it bounce back and
Mhm.
forth, man. Because one, it lets me know that I'm doing something, and then if it's responding to what I'm doing, and of course we know what it responding means. Like,
Yeah.
you know what you thought? You in there. You in there. So that's where it's supposed. That's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be where you at the perfect position. You know what I'm saying? When you're doing what you're doing, if as long as you're getting the response that you're supposed to be getting, it should be getting wetter. It should be, it should be gripping. And not only should it be gripping, but if it's not, still it's supposed to be reacting to what you're doing. So as long as you're stimulating it and you're making it feel the way that it's supposed to be feeling, and it's not really discomforting the person, you should be good.
Okay, okay. Good information. Good information.
Yeah.
Okay. So next we're gonna move on to like kind of like a relationship, but that's not no, that's not a relationship. I'm lying. So feelings on friends with benefits. I know I asked this on like the page thing. So, but like because I mean, you know what? Scenario. So,
Okay.
a friend benefit situation, the female, is like cool with this person, has known this person at some point, and like haven't seen each other for a while. After some years, run into each other. They, never did anything, was just like super cool, whatever. And then like, run into each other, blah, 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 blah. And let's say female brings up the whole friends with benefits thing. And so the
Yeah.
guy is like, oh no, like, we could just talk and like see how things go. We don't want to necessarily move in that arena. But then it's like the further you go, the further you go, the further you go, you decide, okay, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do it, whatever. But the guy is acting like it's not that what the female asked for initially. So, she's maneuvering as it is that. Do you think men really like females that are okay maneuvering how they would maneuver in a friends with benefits situation
Um.
in real life? Like if they're literally like just hitting you up for that, and like if he initiates small talk, like she'll have the small talk or whatever, but usually like if she hit the dude up is you gonna come through da, 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 or no? Do you
I'm gonna
think
say this.
really like that?
Some I think guys are okay with the idea of friends with benefits, but when it's over, when it's all said and done and you can't do it no more, that's when it become an issue. That's when the Drake songs and the Hennessy start happening. So you start wondering why she ain't answering your calls no more. You know what I'm saying? You wonder why you seeing her on Facebook pages having fun with her significant other, and you ain't getting a text back no more because now that scenario is over. But see, that's why they tell you got to you got to be careful. You can't let your feelings, and it's hard. It's extremely hard when you start really giving a fuck about that person. You know what I'm saying? Like When you just having sex with them in the beginning stages of that, yeah, it's fun, it's good, it's cool. I said something to talk about, something to brag about on both ends. May not be something to brag about, who knows? But it's always that point where when it's over with and it's
You're
no
like, oh
longer able,
no.
yeah, and it's no longer able to happen. Then you start getting in your feelings, and then plot twist. The girl breaks up with the guy. Now she want to come back and she want to do this, she want to do that. Now you're not really gonna turn it down, but you in the back of your head is like, damn, man, this is how I'm being treated. but you set it up that way,
Yeah.
not knowing that this is the way that you was gonna feel. So I really think it all depends in a lot of reasons. It all depends on one, the connection that y'all have should be the connection that y'all have should be a lot further than what sex is. So, because once the sex is over, you got to be able to still be that person's friend. But number two, I think that if you are like friends with benefits, you got to really, really, really understand what that entails, and that means that at some point, for one of y'all, it's gonna be over, and you got to be able to let it go.
So yeah, and that's my thing. I feel like, I mean, I agree with what you're saying, but I feel like a lot of times if a female is actually carrying it how a dude would carry it, like usually it's the dude that's like, oh, what's up? You know, can I come through? Or you come over here, whatever, whatever. And then like the girl be trying to initiate more conversation and stuff. But I feel like if the girl actually, you know, it's like literally hitting you up for that and that only. You know, they'll talk to you if you want to, but like it's really like, oh, is you coming through or not? If not, okay, I'm cool with that too. Like I feel like dudes do not really like that. They gotta have some type of extra interaction like with the female. Or it's like, nah, I don't like how she carrying that. Nope, nope.
And the reason why I laugh, man, because I've had females just drop the purple emoji and then send the eyeballs and then send the house thing, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm home. You know what I'm saying? And they'll come through just for that. Like I've had females that understood we were just friends, see another female in my house and we're supposed to be just friends with benefits, see another female in my house, leave, like call me crying and you ain't shit, blah blah blah. I'm like, yo, where is this energy coming
like,
from?
girl, what? You know
Yeah.
it
where is the energy coming from? But see, that's where like I keep it cordial and I'm like, look, I didn't know you felt like that. You know what I'm saying? I know we was doing what we was doing. I didn't know that this was your actual feeling. This is where you wanted to be with it. And some people deny that they started that process, but it can be evident when you know it'd be real evident when it's all said and done that this is who kind of initiated it and this is kind of how it is.
Okay.
But any female, I think the idea from a male's perspective that a woman would do that is number one, you know, with the way that, you know, some guys are being set up by females. You know what I'm saying? And like in today's world, it's kind of hard to say, yeah, we accept it, but you got to be cautious. Some of these girls is like, yeah, I'm just trying to do this, do that, and then like 4 weeks later, you trying to figure out why she ain't answering your phone calls, and then she finally hits you up again. Then y'all link, and out of nowhere, you leaving. You know what I'm saying? It get crazy because it's like you said, it's not usual for a woman to be doing it. But it get crazy, man. Like you really gotta watch yourself when it's a female like that involved, because if you, like you said, if you don't know her, opposed to knowing her is different. If you know her, it's kind of different. If you don't know her, then yeah, it's kind of shaky.
Okay. And okay, I guess another question to that would be, do you feel like guys lose respect for females that are open to having like, you know, casual sex with somebody? Like, because I feel like a lot of times they think, oh, well, if she's okay with like doing this with me, like she could be doing this with other people. But there are some, you know, females who are having sex with literally just you, but it's on a casual basis. Like they're not hopping around. It's like you still dealing with one person. It's just not in a relationship. And I feel like a lot of times dudes kind of try to like say, oh, well, you must be, you know, well, I don't know, well, what else you're doing or whatever. Or they get on that spiel and it's like, dog, like, just because I'm being an adult and I'm agreeing to a situation with you, like, that doesn't bring down my character if I'm having sex with one person. Like, I can have,
Right.
if this is my choice, I can. It doesn't mean that I'm having sex with multiple people just because I agree to have sex with you. Like,
Correct. Yeah, like that's like, you know, that's something that was culturally put into our society, man. And I say that it's nothing wrong with being being like in a casual sexual relationship with somebody and knowing that that's it. And even if you decide outside of doing it, because I've had a female do this to me too. Like, we were having casual sex. Her boyfriend was in the Navy, and like literally, she'll tell me like, "Yo, when he comes back, we're not doing this," or she'll tell me like, "Yo, who else are you doing this with? Because I just make sure you get your checkups and make sure you're doing this. And I'm making sure I'm doing it on my end." And like sometimes it's nothing wrong with that, because sex ain't always about just being in a relationship. Like, actually being together. Sometimes it's just about pleasing the person that you want to please. But
yeah.
I think people get it mixed up. Like, you know, sex comes with being in a relationship. No, sex is something that can happen and it not be a relationship involved. So you can't assume that because somebody's having sex with you that they are having sex with multiple people, or can you not assume that because you're having sex with her that you're the only one she's gonna have sex with? Like, it's not fair. It's not fair for a man to go out and have sex with multiple people, and it's not okay for women to go out and have sex with multiple people. Like, there's a different balance with that. Like, and I think it's because of the way society paints men of being, you know, dogs. We go do this, we hump everything that's around, and you know, it's praise, and then, you know, you get the you get the backstory of a girl having sex with this boy, that boy, this boy, that boy, and out of nowhere, she's a hoe, she's a slut, prostitute, she's selling her ass for $40. Like, like, nah, like that ain't necessarily gotta be the case. You know what I'm saying?
It's definitely not the case.
I'm not knocking nobody that
do,
I'm not knocking nobody that's doing it. But I'm just saying, like, you gotta understand, this is a world where nothing is promised for anybody tomorrow. So at the end of the day, you gotta do what pleases you. If going out and catching bodies, or which is what it means by having sex with multiple people, catching bodies and, you know, keeping yourself clean. I mean, what's really the problem at this point?
Yeah.
As long as you keep yourself clean and you ain't passing nothing around, and you know, just
that's my
keep yourself
thing.
clean, man, and be you.
Yes, and people always quick to be like, "Oh well, you know." Sometimes, you know, people do like catch some of their first thing is, "Oh, well, she was having sex with a lot of people." It only takes one person. You can
Exactly.
have sex with one person and get a disease. Like, it does not take you being promiscuous. Like, and I hate when people try to associate the two. No, that does not mean that. You know, you just have
Exactly.
to make sure like you being safe with anybody you're dealing with. And I guess we can walk right into like the condom use thing. Like, outside of like outside of like, you know, it's always, well, the only thing I've ever heard about the condom thing is like, you know, it doesn't feel the same and all of this stuff. And I somewhat disagree with that because I've had an experience where it felt exactly the same. And I was like, oh, buddy, like, you know, that this was a thing. But yeah, like, that's the only thing I heard. And I'm just like, okay, outside of that, like, I mean, sex can be very good because sometimes it's not, but it's like, how do you think like we can put like more emphasis than we already have? Because everybody talks about like how you're supposed to use the condoms, why you're supposed to use the condoms, diseases and all this stuff. Like, what do you think like we could put out there that would make people like realize the importance of using condoms? Because it's like everybody know like it prevents this, it prevents that, you know, it does work if you use it properly, all those things. But it's like it's still like a big barrier to like people actually using them.
I think the reason being, and I'm gonna tell you the reason being, like the feeling for men, I say for and I think all men can agree to this. The feeling behind that is gross. It doesn't feel good. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't. And it don't feel the same, you know. And in your defense, you know, it does prevent diseases. You know, it can prevent pregnancy and all of that good stuff. But I mean, it's like this, right? If you touch something with a glove on, right? And I think I seen this on Facebook, and I completely agree. If I wash my hands with gloves on, did I really wash my hands?
No, you did not.
I didn't. So at the end of the day, what you're feeling, yeah, it's like it's what you're feeling from a female's perspective with a condom on is what would be equivalent to having a dildo, basically. Like it's plastic wrapped around a dick. If you really want to be honest about it. But I mean, I get why condoms are, and I do not. I even tell my players like, please exercise safe sex. Like it can prevent a lot of things. You know, like for people that ain't ready to have kids, you need to wear a condom. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
For people who ain't ready to, who ain't got health insurance to go to the doctor like they're supposed to, you probably should. You definitely need to be using the condom. Like it's you know what I'm saying? Like it's different variables and thought processes behind it, man. But if you really think about it, like point blank period, the main focus is keeping yourself safe.
Yeah.
Safe means that safe, but let's be real. Even if it's like, you know, we had this thing with this girl that was going to school with me after I left Smith. She she was at Bethel with me, and she had HIV, and
Hmm.
everybody in there treated her like
So bad.
don't touch me, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I was the only one that would be like, yo, I know that you touching me or you giving me a hug or shaking my hand is not gonna make
Right.
me. But how many people am I gonna encounter with that same problem? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not. I mean, it's not a. I ain't gonna say it's a little, but it's not really a lot. And with the way that medicine is moving forward today, I think that it's safe to say that, you know, they're moving close towards it being treatable opposed to being curable. But at the same time, I mean, it's not really causing any. If it's long for me, if it's not causing me any, how can I say it without sounding incompetent? If it's not
Mm,
causing me any like immediate health related risk, or it's not putting me at risk of anything, that I'm not really. It really doesn't scare me. But a lot of people take it as like a scare tactic. So you mean to tell me at what time properly do you use condoms? Because let's fast forward to this. You in a relationship, and who's to say your significant other ain't cheating
you
or
don't
out there doing?
know.
You see what I'm saying? So, but are you going to one use the faith that you have, or are you going to just be like, you know what? I don't trust nobody. I'm not gonna trust nobody. I'm not gonna allow nobody not use condoms, and you not use them at all, and then the discomfort of those, and, you know, keep the 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 way that you lubricate condoms is just like, I don't think that it should be used that way, like scented and all of that stuff going inside of somebody's vagina. You know what I'm saying? I don't think
Hmm.
that overtime could play a part in you getting yeast infections and all of that stuff too. So
Hmm.
it all depends. You know, it really all depends on your thought process in the moment. Like, do I want to risk it or do I not want to risk
I know. I know. It's always the thing. I'm just like, I don't like. I'm trying to like figure out like what can be done to prevent. Because I mean, for the most part, like there is a difference. There is a difference. I mean, like I said, I've had a one scenario where it wasn't, and I was like, oh, this is something different. But that situation was, yeah, whatever.
it? Yeah, I'm with
Yeah, it's like, well, what can you do? Because a lot of people feel like, they're, exempt or like, oh no, I don't have to worry about it happening to me. And it's like you never know. You don't know who you're dealing with. Like people walking around with a lot of disease. It's more than just HIV that is, you know, not curable. So it's like you can't look at somebody and be like, oh, they dirty, they nasty, they got something. Like it ain't like that. So you don't know when you encounter people. So it's like, when do you? I don't know. When do you decide? Even in relationships, because like, yeah, even like my last, I know for sure my last one. Speaking from personal experience, like we used it the whole time. We were together for 3 years, and it was just
Yeah,
like, it is what it is. Like you'll
yeah.
be
I
fine. Like,
mean,
and it's like, I don't know. It depends. Like I say, obviously, I've had scenarios where I did use it because I wouldn't know the difference. Number one, and number two, I wouldn't have a daughter. So I mean, I know both sides of it. So it's like, I don't know, but yeah, I was just trying to. I don't know. But I always want to tell people, like, whether they're using them or not, like, testing is a big thing. And I feel like people should be getting tested regardless. And there's always a stigma behind that, like with HIV, is like, it's a stigma with getting tested. I'm like, getting tested is to make sure that, you know, you don't have anything. If you do have something that is curable, you know, you can get that cured up and cleared up. If it's something that needs to be treated, you can go and get the, you know, next move forward with the next steps, talk to your regular doctor, get the medicine and things like that. But it's like, oh, you going to the clinic? Oh, you going? It's like, that's what
the
you're supposed
perception is horrible. Yeah,
to do.
it's horrible, man.
So
The
it's so.
perception is horrible, and the crazy part is like for me, you know, I got a vasectomy when I was in 2015. I got a vasectomy.
Oh yeah, because you was popping them out.
Left and right, it was potent, and like when I got it, they explained to me that you would need to get your sperm tested quarterly. And
Mm-hmm.
so it went from that to, because I had so many kids in such a small time frame, it was like, well, I said, well, can I just get it tested monthly? And they were like, yeah, we don't mind it. It's a specialty clinic, so you just have to make the appointment. So I make an appointment every month. I go to the VA in Richmond, and I get my sperm tested
Mm-hmm.
to be sure. But with that sperm testing, I make sure I say, well, can I get an STD test?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and every time I get one, they send me my results, all my negatives, no positives,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm good.
Thank
I'm on my way.
you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm on my way. That's just the what you gotta understand is, and if and it's for anybody that has it, it's nothing wrong with just getting it treated and understanding that you just got it, and you gotta live with it and understand that you gotta be careful with everybody else. I think that's the more important. Because, just because you have an STD doesn't mean I mean, in some states, it's against the law for you to have, like, if you have like HIV, AIDS, or something like that, and you have sex with somebody, not telling them that you have it, you can
Yeah.
get like the death penalty for that.
Yeah.
Like, you can get like life in jail for that.
They don't play that. Because it
Yeah,
is. It's
and
like you're like infecting somebody knowingly and you're not telling them. They don't have the option to say, you know, yes or no. Because to be honest, like in the day we live in, everybody is not against having sex with people that have known diseases. Like they might just want
there are
to make sure they're
groups
taking the proper
like
precautions. Like outside of that, everybody is not like, oh, I'm just, no, 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 no. Like there are people that are like, you know, long as there's methods around having sex with somebody that does have a disease that they can't get rid of. So it's like,
yeah,
you just not telling them, or you know, mad at the world because you got it and you like, oh well, I'm gonna give it to whoever. Like, no, you're going to jail. Like,
yeah. And the crazy part about it, man, is like you said, you hit the nail on the head. It's not like you can't. It's a way around not being able to, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is, you have to be upfront, man, and that's the problem with a lot of people, is that they afraid to
yes,
just wear it. You gotta wear it. If you put it on, you gotta wear it. Like, it is no way, you know what I'm saying? You knew, and this is the I guess it's the faith part of me. Like, I pray to God, I stay safe and whatever, But the crazy part about people not saying anything is that when you find out you got it, that should be the first thing. And I'm just speaking like hypothetically. If you find out you got
mm-hmm.
something and you at the clinic, the first thing you should do is like, number one, you should write a list of people that you think within the last however long you've not known that you had it. Submit to the doctor. Write a list, you know what I'm saying, just to figure out who you need to call, who you need to let know. And, you know, from that point on, you need to make sure either one, you got game enough to tell somebody, like in a way that you can really feel comfortable with letting them know and not spooking them, you know what I'm saying? Just let them know, like, look, man, when I was such and such years old, I had sex with this girl that was, you know, around the way I thought, and, you know, I this is what I caught. It's kind of hard. Like, how do you tell somebody, you know what I'm saying, that's what you got without feeling bad or feeling sorry? But the thing is, nobody's gonna feel sorry. They're gonna look at you like something's wrong with you. But if you don't explain to them that, look, it's controlled, like, we can wear condoms, I don't. And a lot of people like, nah, I'm good. But if you find somebody that's really willing to let you still slide up in them or let them hop up on you with that shit on you, and you just want to, like, you gonna get what you're asking for. It just kind of goes that way.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, so yeah, anybody out here that's thinking testing is bad is definitely not. You should definitely be
Nah,
getting
it's
tested,
not.
like to know like what's going on with you and your body, like at all times.
Going to get
Right.
tested can really, honestly speaking, and what a lot of people don't know is I found this out. I found this out in a sex education class. I did not know that the first the first stage, I guess 3 stages of herpes. The first stage is curable. Like, and that first stage can last up to like 12 to 18 months. So that first stage of herpes is actually curable. And what they do is, and what did the doctor? The doctor said what they do is they treat you, and you're not supposed to have any intercourse for, like, I think he said 4 or 5 months, until every piece of what the medicine is pushing through to get the disease out of you.
Well, this is
He's
herpes
like,
or syphilis?
nah, this herpes.
Herpes.
The first stage of it is actually curable. And I couldn't believe it when he said it. He was like, yeah, you won't. He's like, you'll never show. He's like, if you get it out early, it'll never show unless you catch it again.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't believe it. I was like, crazy, man. Like, when he was explaining it to us, like, I was just like mind blown. I was like, well, shit, once that bump come, I thought that was it. And he was like, nah. He was like, nah, a lot of people think that, but that's not the case.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, but I think if you stay safe and you continue to just, you know, choose your partners wisely. That's about, I mean, if you're not wearing condoms, just choose your partner wisely. And I know it's like, well, how do I choose wisely? I mean, just find out about who they are before you dealing with them. That's what a lot of people do nowadays. Like, girls do it too, because y'all are infamous for calling another girl and asking, girl, do you know so-and-so? And the first thing y'all do, because y'all know everything, yeah, girl, he was dealing with so-and-so from around so-and-so. And I heard she was dealing with so-and-so that was doing this, and he got caught humping the crackhead at somebody's house. And I was like, shit, nah, all that lead to it being over. Nah, we can't.
Yes, no. That's a no.
It lead back to, nah, we can't do this. Nah.
Mm-mm.
But
So,
yeah.
all right. So, how important do you feel like sex is in a relationship? Like, percentage wise?
From a place from here to here.
Oh my God.
It's up there. It's up there. Cause one thing about, see, what people fail to realize, sex can curve your whole day. You can go, you literally can have a hard day at work and come home to a good sexual session, and guess what? Your whole day done changed.
Oh my
Now you want to go
God.
take walk. Now you want to go take walks. You want to get up and cook, make Kool-Aid, do whatever. You know, go check. Sex make you do a lot of stuff you don't want. You usually would just be dreading to do. Like, I ain't gonna front. I had sex one time, right? And I literally got out of the bed with her, and I took her car and went and got it detailed. I was like, she went to sleep. I got up. I was so happy to do it. I don't know what. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got up and was like, yo, hell yeah, that's a good day today.
Child,
It's
I
just
guess.
sometimes it's just but also
I don't think it's that. I do think it's big part, but I don't think it's here from my
right.
side. But I'm a female too, so I know like the perspective for men and women is different when it comes to these things. But I feel
Right.
like understanding and communication is like here, and then like sex is like right under there.
Right. But you know, for us, man, we don't have the pleasurable desires that women have. And like you said, you are, you know, being that you are a woman, like
Yeah.
we don't really expect gifts, and it really don't. Like, have you ever gave a guy something and it looks like he wasn't intrigued about it? Like,
Uh,
you like a gift, like a random gift that you just, you know what, he gonna like this. He was like, oh, thanks, and went on about his way. You
well,
know what I'm
no,
saying? Like,
no. I ain't. First of all, I haven't had. I've only had like 2 relationships. That's number one. So
yeah,
the first one, he was just ungrateful, so he won't get too much from me no way. So that was that. But the second one is like it would be more, gifts for like holidays or whatnot. Like it was other stuff that I would do for him, like because like a man, he was more on the feely touchy, what special stuff you're gonna do for me like that. So he would get his gifts were in that arena. So I guess
okay,
yeah, like he like yeah, I knew like I'm buying you stuff holidays, you get stuff, and then like if I want to do something cute, I got you because I know that. So I don't know, and I mean I think it depends, but I know it is like somewhat different. But I feel like if you're not in a good space with like your person or whatever, can you literally like I feel like dudes, even if you block it out, like after you have sex with them, like you not about to lay up with them. Like if you like outside of like y'all sex, like it's nothing else. Like the communication is trash and stuff like that. Like you gonna probably have a good time with that, but then you're gonna be like, oh, like I'm about to bounce and like come back like when it's time for you to take a shower and go to bed or something. Versus like, so does
yeah.
that make it a good relationship? Because it's like, okay, we basically at this point we just having sex. We don't even like each other like that. But
Well, you know, and you know what? No, it could make or break it. You know what I'm saying? It can be a deal breaker, or it can be a savior. Like some girls and some men, I'm gonna say on use men, because I'm not even gonna put y'all in. Some men know they are in a toxic relationship, and because they don't want a guy to get what they had physically, they won't let it go. Like
right, and that's
prime
my
example,
thing. It's like well, that gets tired. For me,
but
would get
prime example.
so tiring. Like I get it. Like yeah, we can really do, but it's like right after that, if I'm just like, ugh, like I can't even like look at you right now. Like after the sex, it's like, okay, no. This I can't, I can't.
Yeah, like but you know, if it get to that point, I think at some point you just gotta like keep your distance, and that would form a friends with benefits type situation. Like, look, I mean, if the sex is good, but if the sex not good, you could be like, look, it's gonna be one of them nights. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't gonna be able to do it no more. But it's not to say that, like you said, it's important to whom it feels that good to. Like
True.
sex can't either one thing, I don't like to be rushed to have sex. I hate having to rush. I hate being quiet. I like to get loud. I like my sex in surround sound.
No, you want to show off. Okay.
Yeah, that's just me though. And don't get me wrong, it makes a hell of a difference when that part of your life is in order, and you're still having a good time doing everything. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? But when you can't stop, you can't go a day without arguing. You can't go a day without stressing. You can't go a day without being clenched to, or you can't like it's a bunch of stuff that plays into why sex can make or break. Because if you already annoyed or irritated with this person, and everything that they do start to bother you, then eventually the sex will go out the window.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's gonna go out the window.
That's
So
why I'm like, it can't be here, because if something is not right up in this part, this is going to like, okay, like it's not even worth like you touching me at this point, because everything else is raggedy in the relationship.
right. And the good part about sex though is when you're in that moment and you can really get into it,
Mm-hmm.
it just makes you like, honestly speaking, that moment of pleasure just it drives like a positive energy into you. So that negative feeling that you had towards that person can be turned into something positive. You know what I'm saying? It all depends on which way it plays in your energy. Like if you get off or you nut and you get up feeling the same way you felt, then there's something about what y'all are doing just not right, or it's just not adding up, or it's just not meant for y'all to be doing. You know, you gotta be you gotta be able to tie that soul for that moment. And when you in that moment, it gotta mean something, or it gotta feel a certain way, so that way you're not just doing it just to do it.
True. Well, that's all I have for you. And I want to thank you for taking your time to come participate. You participate
Anytime.
well on that Facebook group, because I feel like, yes, Mike, for these comments. But
Yeah.
so